Sadly, our summer weather is coming to a close here in the Pacific Northwest. You can see the clouds moving in. We're supposed to get rain over the next week. So I came out to do a little bit of garden prep, clean up as much as I could before the rain hits, and harvest some tomatoes so they don't split. But first, I'm going to turn my attention to my garlic bed. The garlic has to go through a sanitizing soak and then a fertilizer soak, and I'll put it in the bed in a couple of weeks, usually around the middle of October. But before that, I'm going to amend the bed. Since garlic is such a heavy feeder, I'm going to add a layer of compost. Then I've got a all-purpose 444 fertilizer. I'm going to add some green sand, which is a nitrogen kind of adds nitrogen. And then I'm going to add some bone meal for the phosphorus. So hopefully that'll get the garlic off to a good start when it gets in the bed. You may be wondering why I'm putting down fertilizer and compost before I'm even putting the garlic bulbs in the ground. I've got 2 weeks before they go in the ground. And that's just because that's when I usually plant my garlic. There's no set rule on that. But the reason I put down the fertilizer and the compost now is I'm using a granular fertilizer and not a liquid fertilizer. And the granular fertilizer needs a little bit of time for the micronutrients to be available to the plant. All of that good biological action has to happen in the soil. So I put it down a couple of weeks before the plants go in, before the garlic cloves go in, and hopefully then it will give them a boost when they are in the soil because it will be immediately available to them for their nutritional needs. So that's why I'm doing it now and waiting a couple of weeks for the garlic to go in. I've changed up which garlic I'm going to be growing. I've got 3 hardneck varieties and 2 softneck varieties. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, Zone 8B, and I can do either, and either will grow here just fine. So I kind of went through and picked out the ones that I thought would give me the biggest bulbs for Garlic Challenge 2026. We'll see if I succeeded. So my first hardneck variety is Music. And I got this from Botanical Interests, and it's a nice size bulb. It's got some beautiful purple striping on it. Not all music cloves have that, but this one does. So I'm looking forward to planting this. Next up is Amish Rocambole. I got this from Keen Garlic. The bulb's not as big, but it's supposed to be capable of becoming a really giant size bulb. So we'll see if that works. And then the third hardneck is German White. I've planted this successfully in the past and always gotten really good sized garlic bulbs from it. So hopefully we'll get some this year. The 2 softneck varieties I chose this year, and I got both of these from Fillory Farms in Washington State. The first is Siberian garlic. It's a purple striped garlic. And the second, and I'm really excited about this one, is called Kettle River Giant. And you can tell this is a huge bulb. So I'm hoping that we get some huge bulbs come spring. I'm just going to go ahead and separate the individual garlic cloves from the bulbs. And then I've got little cups labeled so I know which ones are going in it. And I'm just going to put some alcohol in here, cheap vodka. Let them soak for about 30 minutes, and then I'll take them out of that and put them in fertilizer soak. I'm just using fish fertilizer, give them a little bit of a nitrogen boost, and hopefully that will help them grow big and giant. The garlic has come out of its alcohol soak, which was a sanitizing soak to kill mites or fungus that may be on the individual bulbs. So I'm put it in a fertilizer soak now, and what I've done is I've just put it in the bag, kept the label with it so I know what it is when I take it out of here and go to plant it. And I'm just going to soak it in a pretty dilute mixture of fish fertilizer for about 30 minutes. You can soak it for up to 3 days and it won't do any harm. There's a lot of discussion online on various sites about the necessity of doing this. Some people swear by it. Others, it's like I've never done it and my garlic grows fine. I've never done it before, but since this is garlic for Garlic Challenge 2026, I'm going to do anything I can to give myself a leg up. So Keen Garlic recommends a fertilizer soak, and they link to an article by Martha Stewart. So my feeling is, hey, if it's good enough for Martha, it's good enough for me. So I've got all the individual bags soaking in this container, which at one time held carrot cake. Carrot cake is a vegetable, you know. So I've got them soaking in here. I'll leave them in here for about an hour or so, and then they'll be ready to go in the ground. A couple of things to note when you're planting garlic. If you notice that when you pull the cloves off the bulb, some of the skin came off the cloves, that's fine. It's not a problem. They'll still grow. The only thing you want to be sure of is that the root end, which is this flat end on the bottom, not the pointy end, but the root end is still intact. If it doesn't have the root end, when you put it in the ground, it's not going to root, it's not going to grow, it's just going to rot. So those are the two things to be careful of. I've planted cloves that had no skin on them. I had removed all of the skin and it was all exposed, but it still had the root end and they did great. Okay, y'all, first garlic. Garlic 2026. First one's going in the ground. This is music. I've got my holes about 6 inches apart, and that one's in there, and we'll cover it up. Happy growing.